Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show as a one and only Southside and one of Kingsbridge's favourite sons. Bridgeman, how we doing, boys?
Good, Ox. Good to be on the night with the legend, the absolute legend, the Bridgeman. And I'll say good evening to all the trips, our own YouTube channel, and everybody that's on Facebook listening in this evening. Good evening.
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, good evening yourself, Fox, here, and of course, Southside there. I hope you keep me going through this, Southside. And of course, the techie boys in the background. Big good evening to you guys and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How's Southside?
Yeah, it's all right, mate. All right. Looking forward to seeing Rangers tomorrow, obviously, back getting a decent game of football, away for this international nonsense. And good that we've appointed a manager, mate, innit?
I know you've been busy, mate. I know you've been busy. Is that the second million you're trying to get now?
Aye, close to it, mate, close to it. But you know what it's like with these school holidays and that.
I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling. How's the Bridge? He's talking to himself, Southside.
Aye, I'm sure he'll. Here he
Chatting
comes.
away there. No, the worst there, he started answering himself back.
I didn't mean to speak to you. I do apologise.
You're called Bridgeman.
I'm sorry, pal. No, I was on Wonderland there, listening to you, and then you heard you saying, so sorry, what was the question? Apologies.
It was quite a difficult one, mate. How are you, Bridgeman?
I'm okay, yeah. I could say that, actually. But no, I'm fine, thanks. Getting there.
Good. Right, obviously you were on Monday, Bridge, and I was on last night. We'll get Southside's take on everything. Yeah, and we'll start discussing where we are and what we think, and some of the things that's come out in the last 24 hours. Southside, your whole take and everything that's happened, mate. How you feeling? Yeah.
Well, you want to talk about for the result for the weekend starting that we should probably have picked up 3 points. And
Aye, Barcelona first half, dog and duck second half.
Aye. It's players' attitude and mentality. You know, that's what caused it. They're not fully switched on for 90 minutes, and it's been like that for a long time with this group of players. So looking to see that change going forward, and I think it will in time. Well, I think it will start. You'll see it probably tomorrow and then continue. But disappointing that we didn't get the 3 points that day. A lovely goal for Tel Asgard. I mean, the boys got ability. I kept trying to tell you he had ability, and maybe now he'll get a bit freer and produce something like he did that day when he picked the ball up just literally 5 yards inside their half. And the closer they go when they had the run and then the wee bit of skill to beat him and then chop it inside, and then he drilled it right into that top corner. What a finish, you know.
Brilliant goal.
And he is a skillful player. He's just not showed enough. He should be doing a lot more to contribute even for goals and assists. And I think hopefully the way we're going to play going forward, it'll free up some of these players to go and express themselves. And he certainly expressed himself that day. Probably didn't get into the game as much after it. He probably went from it going. And
that was a disappointment for me, Southside. I thought he'd have kicked on and maybe stole the show. If he'd have turned the game on after that game, he was after the goal, he was pretty non-existent. But to be fair, the second half, we weren't good as a team, yeah.
He hit the target. He had a chance to stay out of the box after he'd scored, and the goalie made a save. But he had some nice passes and nice touches, and he was getting into more forward positions. So that was a plus point for him to score a goal like that, because I know he had it in his locker, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of it going forward. And the team just died in the second half for that period of time. Fair play. Dundee United probably came out. I mean, we're looking at it from your point of view, but they obviously came out with a reaction. They shut Raskin down quite early because he was getting on the ball. They pressured him. They sort of pressed us a bit quicker, and we decided that we didn't respond to that, and it let them come into the game. And they managed to get their goals, and we got away mugged again with a point that we should have had 3. So that was disappointing. And then obviously with Danny Rule coming in, listen, I've had a wee look about him just in the last day there. I've had a wee listening to a couple of things, and I've listened to 2 people that have watched him and been at Sheffield Wednesday, and they talk about his time there and what he does and his formations and what he done, and he's certainly adaptable, as they've spoke about, and where his work talks. So at Ajax and obviously at Borussia Dortmund and Leipzig thing me as well. No, it wasn't Ajax, sorry, I was thinking the assistant manager that came in there. But at Leipzig and coming through that system, and also being assistant to the managers that he's been with, he's got a good grounding. I think he was a Champions League winner as assistant manager. And we'll just hope that he can come in and set the team up. We should be good structurally, hopefully. Good organiser. And I used to say, when you play the Germans, it's usually German efficiency in it, as they play as a team in a unit. So hopefully he'll bring that to us. And it's down to the players to respond, Ox, when given a chance to go in the park.
German efficiency. I have no comment on that, if that's all right, Bridgeman.
Aye. I don't blame you. No, I as far as if you don't mind, I'd like to just comment on what
carry on.
Southside was saying. It's just that I'm so happy this guy's coming in. At least he's got somebody with a good background in football, by the sound of it. And not necessarily as a player. I'm not saying he was a bad player, but I think his form is saying he's basically been a coach. And as Southside said, he's been a coach at maybe 6, 7 good clubs, and a couple of them have been top-notch clubs, And I'm so pleased that the guys come in. And as I said, I might not want some managers. I quite like the look of this guy. My preference would have been Gerrard and all the rest of the rubbish. That's how I speak, but that's the way it was. But the guy's here, and I'm 100% behind him. The Bridgeman's there. All he needs to do is get a shout, and I'll do what I can for him. Simple as that. Not that I can do anything, but you know what I mean.
Oh, when you're speaking to him, tell him he can meet me and the chairman and the boozer, yeah?
And the boozer. Come in here.
You know the rules, Southside, yeah?
Yep.
You know
Not a problem.
So I listen, Bridge. Look, you can't change the past. You can only look going forward. He's my manager. If you want my honest opinion on it, and people might say it different, I think he's a better fit already than Russell Martin. Yeah, for various reasons. I think the vast majority of support than they want Russell for their own peculiar reasons. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, yeah. That's life, yeah. So he was behind the 8 ball a wee bit Southside before he started. Maybe in hindsight, he shouldn't have got the job, but you can't do nothing. What's happened. And no, everybody's like me and you, Southside, never made any mistakes,
Oh.
I know. Listen, they've made the mistake, they've corrected it, as I said before. Once they pulled the plug on Russell Martin, you come out, you apologise, put your hands up, take the flag, it comes, and then sort it. And it's how you react after it. So hopefully Danny Rill will come in and he'll do a good job, and hopefully he'll get a team that's got ability in it and bring it out into the play on a weekly basis. And he'll probably bring an organisation. And listening to a couple of the people that spoke about him said that he's a tough cookie. He certainly does a lot of work and shows them stuff in the tactics, but he also makes them work hard on the training field. And he's approachable and all that. So all that doesn't really matter, but it probably helps in certain things for man management, the way players react now, whereas before they have been pinned up against the wall and stuff like that. But that'll not happen anymore. But other managers would have done in the past when they weren't doing the job right. But listen, I want to give him a chance. I'm happy we've got a manager now. And it's about, hopefully, he just starts, we'll see progression as the weeks go by, and we'll see a steady change and a steady progression. And if we can see that, then hopefully we'll see the results as well with it. But if we had a sticky patch at any time, as long as we're seeing improvement and we might have been unlucky that day or something, then you can go fair enough. But I think it'll be, I'm looking forward to the journey with him, mate, and I'm looking forward to him. He's got a good bit to go for this year. We're behind the 8 ball at the moment in the league, but we've still got a cup final we could be in.
Just keep winning, mate.
Keep winning, and if we get them out, the cup, then we can go and face St Mirren or Motherwell in the final to win a trophy. So we'll see how it goes, but I want to give him time, and hopefully we'll see results pretty quickly with him. And these players will react to him, and hopefully we'll go on a winning run.
I can't remember where I read it today, but I thought it was a brilliant line. Rule Britannia.
Aye.
Hopefully
I'll rule the rest, mate, and then we'll be fine.
I like that. I thought it was quite witty. Look, obviously there was interviews for the chairman, which I quite enjoyed. A lot of the stuff was similar. He owned the recruitment process and basically said that some of the stuff we've read in the media has been far-fetched and no true. He then explained what happened, and I think it's only fair, Bridge, that you any business or any you for senior positions, you're not used to be talking to one person for the reasons that some people change their minds, stay where they are, move on. They don't fancy you, you don't fancy them. That's life, timing, family, money. It's always a factor, Bridge, especially for you. Yeah. You enjoy counting it. And we are where we are. Danny Rowe's our manager and we'll get behind him. Is there any guarantees? No, there's no, Bridge.
No, there's not going to be. I don't expect any guarantees, and you can't, actually.
No.
It'd be brilliant if you could say you better win the first 10 games. You've got to do that, and if you don't do that, you're out. No, you can't do that. But if you go out and play crap, and the players aren't fitting, they're not fitting in, and your lineups just nobody understands it, then there might be reasons for it no continuing. But this guy looks and sounds, as far as I'm concerned, I thought he came across very well when he was during his sort of interrogation by the press pack. But I thought he did very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. And he can't. I'll say this, and I'm wishing this. It can't be any worse than the last manager. Surely it can't be any worse. It's got to be better, isn't it? It's got to be. It can't be.
Mate. I mean, if I'm really honest, in my opinion, I don't know if it was 6 weeks ago or 8 weeks. It just seems a blur now. I think, for whatever reason, I think the previous manager lost the dressing room. And we can talk about it, debate it, but it's gone now, Southside. I think they lost the fans, they lost the dressing room, bizarrely considering so many changes, whether it was just the fact that they liked him and the message was too complicated, I don't know, but it did look as if it went awry. But it's gone, Southside, and we can't do nothing about it. We just have to move forward there.
Aye, mate. Aye, we've got to. No point looking back. You've got to look forward. We've got to do that, and we've got to give him a chance. Listen, he'll come in and he'll set some standards and that. He's got a bit of experience. He's been about clubs. He's seen how they worked. He's worked with good coaches. He's done all right. He said at Sheffield Wednesday for what he had to work with when he first went in and took over. They were a point adrift. They had 1 point and they were 10 adrift of safety, and they managed to get them up and keep them up. It's a different job, I understand that, but I think the guy has got some qualities. I think he's adaptable. By listening to people talking about him that know him, I've interviewed him many times, they said, and followed him through by Sheffield Wednesday at the time and watched him, how he turned games when they were doing 2-0 and he changed tactics and stuff, even 2-3 times during a game to get the victory and stuff like that. So he will not probably be rigid 4-4-2. We might play 4-4-2, we might play 3-5-2, seemingly does that. He plays different systems to suit different teams, and hopefully over a period of time he'll work with these players that he's got to know, and they'll start to get his results, and then we can improve the squad, because that's what we need to do. We need to improve the squad. We don't really have a playmaker in the middle of the park that can go and take the ball and dictate the game. We don't have that.
I want to come to you about that, right? I don't want to go on about Raskin's performance, which I thought turned into a childlike performance, yeah. I think he's better than that. I want to ask you a question, Southie. We touched on it briefly last night. Joe Rothwell came in, and Bridge can chip in after you. And I really did, I thought, bit of experience, been around the block, add to the mix is going to help us. He can't last a game of football. Yeah. And all right, he makes runs, he looks, when he gets the ball, I think in the first half, he's got this change of pace that we never seen at the start of the season. That when he's on the ball, he's a great runner with the ball that I didn't know he had at the start of the season. He's shown that. He can't last there in 60 minutes. And on Saturday, after an hour, he was gone. And, well, I don't know if it's down to him or down to the coaching or the fitness people. He's 30 years of age. I mean, he's only a couple of years younger than myself. He should be able to last a game of football. Southside, no?
He's certainly showed a bit of pace in the last couple of games, but up until then, he's been like a passenger, and he's not been lasting any more than 60, 70 minutes, and 60 minutes usually in games. I don't think the team's totally fit anyway. You need to be fit throughout a season for certain things and how you're going to play the game now. I take it when we listen to Russell Martin, we're going to be all over the park, we'd be chasing teams, harassing them. We never seen any of that, because I don't know if the players had all that energy in them today, but he was wanting them today. But we never seen much pressing, and when we did, it was disjointed. We basically played tippy-toe football, running about the back and trying to just pass the ball, and we weren't doing enough running. And I think we could all see that as a support.
Just a small thing, mate, and it's frustrated me. You know, I mean, look, you can have a bad game, you can, it doesn't work for you, but you should be fit. It's nearly Guy Fawkes night, you know. Bridgeman, am I being silly, or I don't know your take on it?
Well, I've been saying since I've seen him, I quite like to cut his jib, Rothwell, but he's not fit. And that's what I said then, and I'll stick by it. I don't think he's fit. I think there's a lag somewhere. And it might be because he's not getting first-time football every week. It just might not be there for him, simple as that. And you can get yourself, training-wise, you can get yourself fit, but then you know yourself, that's got to convert onto the pitch. And I don't think he's getting enough time on the pitch. He might turn out to be a fantastic player for us, but I think he's got quite a bit to go. And as do some of the other guys as well, I must admit.
Just something that's frustrating me, I want to put it out there. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We've got a game tomorrow night, and people can come on and talk about anything they want, but we've got a game of football tomorrow night, which is a big game. You know, so we're going to hear from new manager Danny Rowe, and then we'll open the phone ring. So get yourself a mute, lads, and let's hear from our manager, Danny Rowe.
Just wondering, you've obviously just been at the club a short period of time. How prepared do you feel for this match? It's obviously a big match.
Yeah, I think that will be a good question tomorrow. Yeah, I think we have a clear idea. We have a clear match plan what we want to do tomorrow here. But it's about the right attitude to come to such a place. I expect a very intensive game. I think we will face a team who's well organized, play with a good pressure. It will be a fight for the second balls as well in some moments in this game, and we have to be ready for this. I think this is the demanding for my group, what we want to see tomorrow. I know tomorrow we will not make the perfect game, but it's not necessary to have the perfect game. It's important to have a successful game tomorrow, and I think with this mindset we should go tomorrow in this game.
It's obviously been a while since you've had a game. Is it just good to be back involved in a match and be back out in the grass?
Yeah, of course. I think the last 2 days, a lot of things off the pitch to do, but I enjoy this to get straight into this club, to get the feeling what it means to be manager here. And the last 2 training sessions were very well. The team is very listening. They try to follow what we want to do. And tomorrow we have a great start. Yeah, it's not normal that you start straight with a European game in a new club, but I'm really looking forward for this.
How would you describe the mood of the squad that you've inherited? Are they a bit down, or do they still have some confidence left over? They've also had some really difficult moments this season.
I must really say I met all the players, and when I speak with the players, I see a smile again in the face, and that gives me a good belief that we are on the right way. I think this is very important. We have to turn the negative energy and the disappointments in positive energy, and this is our mindset. I try this every day, give them this belief, and I try with my team, with my coaches around me now, that we make the turnaround quick, and tomorrow we make a good step forward.
There has been a lot of questions about the mentality of this group, both individually and collectively. How important is that mentality for you at a big club like this, and what can you do to help improve the mentality of players? For
me, it's important the self-confidence. I think in the last couple of years, when I work with different players, even it's big players, they need to believe. The mentality is not always. It's easy to say it's about mentality, but I'm convinced if you have a clear direction how you want to play and you create good moments into the game, then your self-confidence going up, and it means then some moments in the football goes easier. Yeah, but we know this. It's about hard working. It's not just talking. I think the last 2 days I talk a lot. Hopefully we see tomorrow a good game from our side.
Danny, you've spoke a few times about your experience at Bayern Munich and the things you achieved there. You obviously won a Champions League whilst assisting at Bayern. Europe's obviously clearly important to you, but given where Rangers are domestically this season, is there an argument to say that this is maybe a distraction, that the team should be putting more of its focus winning domestically, and this could perhaps be something that gets in the way of that?
I think important is that we have tomorrow a first good step in the right direction. And yeah, sometimes I don't like to speak too much about the past in Munich, but when Hansi Flick took over, we lost 5-1 against Frankfurt, and then we had straight also a big game ahead in the Champions League, and then we played against Borussia Dortmund. And it goes very quick. It could be, yeah. But, and this is tomorrow, I expect this. It will be a fight, and this fight we have to take. And if we do this, then I see a lot of quality in our squad. But for this, we have to go forward.
Can you just give us some of your memories of being at Bayern and winning a Champions League? What did that mean to you? What was that achievement like for you, being an assistant coach at that time?
Yeah, it was amazing. I think when we start our journey, then I think it was around October together when Hansi took over from assistant to a head coach, and he took me then as well from the third assistant to the first assistant coach. You cannot imagine that you go at the end of the season and you have this big title in your hand, and this was amazing. I learned a lot in this time about the mindset, and I think this is exactly what we need in our club. And it was also special. The players can play football, but they are really soon ready to invest in parts of the game, in pressing and hunting. And I think this is very important because we have also great players, we have individual quality here. But if you understand that it's not just about have the quality and think it's enough to win games, then we make a huge step forward.
Hi Danny, can you give us a sense of what you've tried to achieve with the players already, obviously in a very short space of time? Have you tried to implement any kind of big changes that we might see tomorrow?
Yeah, we will have maybe some changes in the starting 11, but this is also, I was honest to my team today, after 2 days you have to take the impression from the video, you have to take the impression from the training session. You need a bit more time to know all the details. I think this is also important for me as a coach because I like to make adjustment during the game, and then it's important to understand which players you can bring in which situation. This is what I have to learn very soon. For me, it was about speak about basic things, not make an overload with too much details, but we need some things to improve, and especially in Europe, when you have such a game ahead, we have to understand how we go in such a game.
Can you be more specific about the things that you need to improve?
Yeah, a big topic was yesterday in possession, our speed up moments, how we want to attack spaces, and yeah, today we look to the opponent, which spaces we want to attack very soon. That was a big part. We spoke about, I bring this to 5 words. I take it as a SEALers, if you want. Yeah, it's about a sprint, intensity, make the last step in the duels, because sometimes we miss the last step, we stay too far away from our opponent, and we want to be aggressive, and we want to make all the things together, and it means in a swarm. And if we do this tomorrow, we have a good chance to take something.
Sorry, you said that you want to start winning and quickly. How significant do you feel tomorrow's game is with that in mind?
Yeah, we will see tomorrow, but I'm looking forward, because the last 2 days I saw a lot of good things. I know training, it's training, and tomorrow it's an official game. It's a different kind, but how the player act, how open-minded they were, how they talk on the pitch, how lively they were, that makes me very positive for tomorrow.
You touched on your memories with Bayern Munich in European football. How much does that inspire you as a head coach to go out and create memories with Rangers in European competition?
Yeah, I'm honest. If we achieve this together, then I think a big dream comes true. If you win titles as a head coach, that's amazing. I made this experience as assistant coach, but as a head coach is then the next step. And yeah, I think that's a big goal for my career as well. And now I have a good opportunity. That means we have the chance to win something, but at first we have to start to win games.
I know you've only had 2 training sessions so far. Do you see real potential in this squad that just hasn't been realised so far this campaign?
Yeah, I see a lot of good things, and I'm also very convinced that if you work day by day, some players will be surprising some people, because they will better and better. I see as well that some players played not on the highest level, and this is also what we have to bring, and we have to find the reason why. And I'm convinced if we give them solutions, what we want to do, how we want to do it, then they will also make step forwards.
Just a couple more, guys.
Danny, can you tell us about your relationship with JD Gassama? How good a player do you think he can be, and why do you think you will get the best out of him?
Yeah, Gus, I think it's a good story and a good example how you can develop players, and this is the reason why I'm sometimes a little bit careful to listen too much to some opinions when you arrived. Gus was a little bit the same when I arrived in Sheffield Wednesday. Some people told me, has he the right mentality? Is he the right man? Can he play really championship football with this intensity? And then I watched some couple of training sessions and I said, guys, you will see in some months he makes the difference between winning games and have a good 1-against-1. And then, we had also some parts, and I think this is important. This is one of my way as well. I want to develop players from the football side, but also from a human side. And Gassama make a huge step forward, but he's still not at the end of his demanding. And I know, especially Gus, we know these players. You have to take them. You have to give them again advices, but he's listening, and this is very important to build up a relationship, and this is what we want to try very soon with all of the players, to give them a picture where we want to go.
So it's obviously been a disappointing start for the club at this point in the season so far, but how disappointed will you be if you get to the end of the season and you haven't won a trophy? Is that still the main aim?
This is a question I will not think in this negative direction, what could happen and what should happen. I really make the focus at the moment in the next games, and I think if you take the period now from today until the next international break with these 6 games, I think we will see where we are, and I'm convinced that we are in a good position, and then we will see in which direction we can go by the next step.
Final question, please.
If we look at the bookies, Brann is favourites and you're underdog. What does that say about a huge club like Rangers, and do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think at first we see we have 0 points and our opponent has 3 points. That means they won 1 more game like us. And there's also, I think, a reason why at the moment why they're doing really well, and maybe they have from the bookings a little bit the advantage. But honestly, for me, it's not a bad thing to be an underdog. I think it's smart sometimes to go in a game if you have the right mindset, and I think this is the crucial thing tomorrow.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, Bridge.
Well, thanks for that.
Oh, he's back. You did a bridge man there.
I was actually doing a wee bit of bridge man there, mate. I was actually doing a wee bit of bridge man. I don't care. But, listen, fair play to your manager. Bridgeman, I'm not going to go to you because Mrs. Bridges warned me, but Southside, you're 2 days in the door. What can you achieve? Yeah? Women hardly know their names, eh? Never mind achieve anything, let's be honest. Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Some of the questions were a wee bit, it's focusing on game by game. We need to build the momentum. He needs to get to know the players, and he's going to pick a team tomorrow night, which will probably be interesting if he's going to make a few changes. I'd imagine he'll know of a clue what he's going to do because he's been working with the players and he's had a look at whatever he was studying. But he's going to, I think he's talking about he will use a lot of the players, and they'll have a sort of style and a system that they'll all know that's changeable, and we will probably see it change. But I thought he answered a lot of the stuff quite well. I don't know what they really expect him to say by some of the questions he asked him, but I thought he answered them well, to be honest, Tops.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, I think the manager was asked some difficult questions, which put him in, and he can't answer properly. He can only give his thoughts at that time. Because some of these questions were actually futuristic, what are they going to turn it to be like, blah, blah, blah. I'm quite proud the way the manager held himself, to be honest, and he answered as honestly as he could. But we know, everybody knows, there's what, maybe the first 4 games of his managerial role are absolutely really important. I can't say that how important they are for him and his future and the squad. The squad's got to bounce. We've got to get a new manager bouncing from the squad of players, and he's the only one that can do it. The only man who can do it. It's all his now. And I was delighted to hear what some of his reports or retorts, should I say, to the questions. Some of the questions are, I don't know, they're quite bad. I don't like the way the question is. Just don't like it. But I'm delighted with the manager, and I really wish him of course, I wish him all the best. He's our manager and our team for tomorrow night. And I'll be cheering them on.
Aye. What they're trying to get is a tagline like Martin, or if you take back to Philip Clement when they said we'll be better by October, and then when things don't go quite right, that gets flung back in your face, and that's what they're constantly trying to do. And it's so, you can see right through it, Southside, yeah. And we, as a support, have just got to be a bit smarter, yeah, and what we read into these people, because they've got a different agenda than me, you, and Bridge, and all who support me.
Aye, it's like it's a fresh start. Right? We've got to do the restart. he's the manager. He's coming in, and now he's going to pick players in a team, and I dare say we're well organised. So it's down to the players now to get out on that part and start producing and showing us why we brought them in the first place. That's what it's done to. I dare say they've been confused since he came in, Martin, and what we've done. But there's no confusion now. These players now need to go out and show why we brought them into the club in the first place. And I think you'll probably allow them to play. And Gassama, I think, could really flourish under him because he certainly had a big influence. You heard what he said. And he said he does, even the fact he said he'll look at all the players, he's not going to take maybe what other people's judgments are. So, but the ones that have been playing regular, they need to start upping their game works and they need to start getting into the game plan, and whatever the game plan's going to be for that game, they need to start executing it for this manager. And if no, I'm sure they'll be strong enough to get to either drop them and get them out the door if they don't start doing it. Early days, tomorrow night and stuff, but for the first game, but once they start playing in the next few games, as the games roll up, and once we get to that semi-final, I'm expecting the players to be real ready for that one and fully functioning. I know we've got Hibs and Kilmarnock after that, before that, but at the end of the day, that's the one that we want to go to a final. And we want to make sure that we beat Hibs and we beat Kilmarnock in the process of the league campaign. And tomorrow night, I'll take a point if that's what we can come back with. I want to get the 3 points, but if we put in a decent performance and we even come away with a point, then it's a marker on the board, and then we can go for the next European game. But we need to get the league campaign back on track, and these players need to react to the manager's instructions.
Aye. Listen, mate, it's also right. We mentioned it last night that some new people might be joining the board, and I hope I do justice to their names. Sasha Lenz has joined us as the first team performance manager. That means I think he'll maybe deal with the training, if that makes sense, more that side of things. Well, Matthias Kaltenbach, I hope that's right, will also join Roy Danny as the role staff as assistant coach. So he'll maybe work and how they get the tactics, and he'll be his soundboard. It's a normal in football, they like somebody next to them that they sort of trust and have a relationship. We did say we don't think it's finished yet, the backroom staff bridge, and we'll watch to see who comes in, and we wish both men the best of luck in their new appointments, and hope they go from strength to strength at our club bridge.
Oh, absolutely. I hope that they've managed to get it all covered as far as UEFA registration for everybody. So I hope there's no any big holes there. Can we just start up a lot? Can we easily missed out, So I just want them to be ready for tomorrow night, and I can't imagine them not being now, So
we were on the grass this morning with the first teammate, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how the press pack think they're going to. It's a wonder you don't see them with name tags on to do the session, so you could maybe just let them have their jerseys with a back on it. But
absolutely. Well,
it takes you a couple of days to get to know everybody's name when you turn up in a new football club. We've all done it Southside, done it?
Aye.
I must say, everybody always knew my name.
I did hear the day that he went right on the plane with the corporate people and all that, and everybody on the plane the day when they headed over to Norway. He went up and shook every single person's hand on the plane. Thought it was a nice gesture for him. Some people might just
it was a jumbo jet.
Yeah, but I heard he made that gesture the day and introduced himself to everybody that was on the plane.
Aye, well, we hear. I mean, we've all looked into him, and obviously we know his career. We know he had his spell at Sheffield Wednesday. That was his first breakout in his own. He's got pedigree in the number 2. We'll see where it goes. In an ideal world, I think he's got enough experience to manage your club. Doesn't maybe look like it in some respects, but you could turn the same thing back in Walter when he took over the Graham Souness bridge, man. He'd never managed a football club. Yeah,
that's the truth. Yeah. No, I like the guy. It sounds like the guy knows what he wants from it, And our board and his seniors, they're confident they'll get out of him what they expect. And so it should be good. And the fans are going to see, hopefully, better football played at Ibrox, particularly. But it's obviously away as well. But we've got to start winning, got to play a bit of football. And, I would put them in that order. We've got to start winning, and we've got to play a bit of football now. If you can mix them together and throw them onto the pitch, then brilliant straight away. You might not be able to get away with that, but we've got to at least start winning. And when you start winning, confidence comes through. And you see we midfielders become stars. That's what happens. Midfielders will become stars and all wanted all over the world. If you can do the job, get the games under your belt and get the wins as well. And I'm just so hopeful for them. And I wish I'm going to lose my heart wishing for these people. Just want them to be better than the last lot were other performances, that is. And we've got if we can do that, we'll be quids in, and it's it's in racing form for Mr. Roll, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if there's any selection differences or tweak it. What I did like Southside, we've all listened and we've all read some stuff that, as you pointed out earlier on the show, he'll adapt his formation, mate. I'm a great believer in that. Yeah, there'll be games at Ibrox where we don't need two sitting midfielders, or we don't need this, or we don't need that, or there might be a game against Roma where you've got to maybe say, like, this guy's going to hurt us, so we need to set our team up slightly different to accommodate X, Y, and Z. That's part of football management. If you just go out and do the same thing all the time, you might as well have an AI program doing it, because there's no feel for it. You're just saying, go out and do that. Nothing. There's no feel for it. You've got to be flexible. You've seen it with Dundee United, changed it slightly at half time. Sort of played slightly different, got men into midfield and stopped us playing. And then after 10 minutes, the second half started changing. They didn't do a lot, a few fouls, should have been a few more yellow cards. But they changed again. And that's football management, mate. If you don't, as I said before, what's the point? You might as well just send out the 11 players and let them do what they want.
Aye, I think in time we'll probably see him adapt and do different formations, but I think probably now we just need to get back to being organised and work hard and do the basics right, because that's the fundamentals that we've not been doing, a lot of the players. So if we can see that starting, I do think, in listening to the other two guys that know him very well, said that he's really adaptable and he could play 4-4-2, he could play the 3-5-2, he can play 4-2-3-1, he'll play whatever it is, and if it's not working, he'll change it in the game, and he'll even bring subs on to do it and just change a totally different system. So he is going to be adaptable. It seems that's the way he does. But I just want us to be better at the fundamentals, things that we've not been good at, that we've been lacking, and it's down to the players that haven't been carrying it out right. Can't even do a 10-yard pass to each other at times. Do you know what I mean? You're passing it out the park. It's not good enough. So I'm just looking forward to it. I think he'll be good in the long run, so I'm looking forward to him working with the players. But without question, we need better players in that. But next transfer window, whether we need to get one or two out probably, and we need to certainly probably try, if we can get somebody on a pre-contract or something, or whatever, we get somebody decent player right in the door. We need to get playmakers into that team and all. But we'll have to rebuild the defence, but you can sort that out in the summer. We need to get back to getting a couple of playmakers in the team that are good on the ball, good quality players, and I think that would make a difference to our midfield, because we don't really have that in the midfield. We've got players that Raskin on his game is good, but he doesn't dictate a game. He doesn't go on the ball enough and make the killer passes. And Diamandi doesn't do it either. Rothwell's further forward, I think, is where his position is. So we need somebody that can get in the middle of the park, get on the ball and dictate the play, physical and commanding, hopefully going forward, because we certainly like that in our midfield.
100% agree with that.
I'm going to disagree slightly. And Bridge, you're not going to believe what I'm going to say here.
Go on.
I think the first player we have to sign, and hopefully we get him in January, as a centre half, mate.
100%.
And I usually, you know what it's like Southside. The centre halves, they were always last picked at the school, weren't they? You know what I mean?
Aye.
Oh man,
All the guys
he's
that were
kicking
all
me.
the big guys.
Oh, he's kicking
You know
me,
the
Mammy.
you know the ones that were eating all the raw meat Southside. You know what they were like, yeah? Right. So, but I'm honestly, mate. Did you get to an experience for what we're trying to do? I think it's a mistake. Tried something that didn't work. I listened to Kevin Fairwell every day. He thinks that young left back's coming on. Well, I want to sit next to Kevin and he can point out where he thinks he's coming on, because I actually think he's regressed. Now, that might be down to the previous manager. I don't know, but I don't think he's ready. The more I've watched him, well, he's got ability, there's no doubt in that. He's shown he can tackle, he's quick, but he's not ready. What I've seen, only Oxford's opinion, to play in our team, and there's two. So you take them out, you can sort that a bit. You can maybe go with De Giga. We've got the boy that we've signed that we've not seen here in the telly, Fernandez. So we don't know what's happened there. And I think Cornelius should go to the left back, and we're looking to fill that centre half position. That's the first signing for me. I get your point. I'm not disagreeing with your point about the midfield Southside, but I think we're just that punt up the park when they got that equaliser. It's Saturday. Sorry, your team was right. It doesn't happen, mate, and that game's different, in my opinion. I'll bring Bridge in, and then you can reply, Southside.
Yeah, like I said it the last time I was on, and the time before as well. This manager, he's got to find out who he's got that has not been played. The Fernandez guy and the DJ, the boy came for Will DJ or something like that. And I personally, he's alone, isn't he? So I wouldn't worry too much about him. But I think that it'd be better if you put this as a pairing, and I would move the chap that you mentioned to left back. I think he'd be a great left back, that guy. Cornelius, right? And that gives you a bit of chance you can move people around, a bit of movement. But they've got to be good. They've got to play well, you know. And they've got to be. I
don't know if the two lone players are the answer. The Jigger or Megahome. Yeah, they've got they're both inexperienced pros, mate.
Absolutely, but they need to get experience in it. We need to play them, but we can't play them as an attacking team. And it may say that you can't play the two centre halves being the attackers. They can't attack. Centre halves don't do that. They're all right going up for corners and free kicks, but no, I don't expect any centre half to go, and Rangers are now to go up there and do some mazy dribbles. It'd be unbelievable stuff if we could do it. And they probably end up with when they be playing centre half, they playing centre forward.
Are you saying to me, Bridge, live on air, that centre halves can't play football?
No, what I'm saying is they're not very good at playing football in that sense, in the greatest sense. And we have got some really talented people. And I don't mean to
everybody
pour all on the other. But you look at John. You look at John Suter. John Suter will get the ball and he'll move up into the opposition half, and he'll go 5, 10, 50, maybe 20 yards. And I'm going like that. I'll keep shouting at him, what are you doing now? What are you going to do? And before you know it, he's either lost the ball, he's put it out of the park, or he made a crap pass to a Red Cross ball in to get a guy badly tackled. We don't want that. I'd rather look. He scored goals for us. He's a big fella when it comes to free kicks and things like that. He's definitely be good up there. But no, sorry, not if you're playing, not during the game. Don't wander over the halfway line. Don't do it, because you're only going to end up losing it all for yourself. As you mentioned, just at the last game we played, a big punt, and it's something that beat us. It's actually beat us. And you're thinking to yourself, how can that be?
Young left back switched half, mate, the shape of our defending, it was up. So I said, it's just my take on it. You might still think that the midfield. Now, I understand we're short there. I'm not saying we're not, but that would be my first side. I think we need 2 first-team players, and I don't mean loans, and I don't mean 2 first-team players in January who go right into our team, mate.
In an ideal world, you would probably like to get them in if they've got eye on anybody, but we don't know if that will happen. But I do think there's probably 2 or 3 players that's, well, I'm being generous saying 2 or 3 that are kicking about our squad that could certainly, we should be finding exits for in January. But he'll assess all the players, and the ones that haven't been featuring, possibly like Lyle Cameron, like Bizrami, the boy Fernandez, as we talked about, paid $3.5 million. Enciala, who was frozen out, who's still at the club, who'll get a chance to look at him and see, and it'll be up to him. And over time, he might develop him or Fernandez that haven't been getting a look in our squad at the moment. You might develop them into first team players in time. We don't know. We'll wait and see. Cornelius, he's still an option to buy at the end of the season. So we'll can judge that when we get to the end of the season. Giga's the one that we'll see. He's on loan, but we obviously brought him in because Shooter can't play every week. Now, you're right, Bridge. I mean, we watched Shooter do that. He would come out and go to a point, but the players weren't moving. There was nobody in the forward positions from the past. It would have to go left, and then the left back gets shut down, and it comes back to him, and then it goes back across, then back to Butland. That's what it was like at times, because when he did step out, and especially on the left-hand side when he played there, his only option was to go at the left back, because the left-sided midfielder and that and the winger weren't available for him where we were watching the games from behind the goals. It was that disjointed at times. So, we're looking for a better structure and probably moving the ball quicker, and I believe that's what he does as a coach. So hopefully we'll see that, and if we see we'll see an improvement tomorrow night, Bridge, I would like to think, and then obviously the league game coming up against Kilmarnock and then Hibs. And if we see steady improvement and hopefully we're getting wins with it, then that's all we can ask for. We've had a bit of a time here, and everybody's battle scarred and tissued and everything else. But we need to try and hope that this guy's coming in now and he'll find a solution to get us back winning ways and hopefully bring success to the club. We can all be sceptical because we have been for a long time, and there's a lot of sound bites and all that sound the same that we've all heard before. And we go, all right, I know we're going to hunt, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, let's hope that he implements tactics in the day there. And I don't think this squad's got it in them, all of them at the moment in the squad that I look at, that the fitness levels that he might want. But I'd like to hope we'll get back to creating chances, being exciting, winning 50-50 duels and start to get stuck in. It's a new manager.
Do yourself a favour and win 2 halves of football outside it.
90, that's fair. That's a fair one, mate. I'll give you that, definitely.
You know, it's frustrated me, mate. You know, the game was won. We were winning at Falkirk, you know. Won the second half, you won the match. Won the second half. And Saturday, you won the match. You've got 4 points. Just do 2 games. 4 points closer. Look where we're sitting, yeah. Look where we're sitting. You know, and it's frustrating. You know, we're not being ridiculous there, Bridge. You know, you've got to be realistic. But I definitely think a couple of players, who they are, how we get them, I've not got the answers to that. But I think we need. I'll give Southside his second one if he thinks that's priority. But the first one is, for me, a centre half, mate.
Yeah, for me also.
Because they obviously don't fancy this boy Fernandez, because he's not had a sniff since St Mirren. Yeah, he wasn't great, but geez, we've had a bad game, even me, you know.
No, he's got to be played if we get any chance at all of that guy succeeding at Rangers, and Rangers even bringing him through in any way, shape or form. He's got to be played. If he's not good enough, then they must tell him, you're not good enough, you're going to be a backroom boy, you know. You're going to be sitting on the bench for the rest of the season or the next 3 seasons, and it gives a guy a chance to...
the door, mate.
Exactly, see if he can get out the door, the next window. Exactly, we need to do it. We need to clear the decks again. If there's people in there we don't want, or they can't make it, they'll never make it, blah, 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 then we have to be kind enough to let them go and find their way, or indeed get some money for them if we can do that. However, I'm agreeing with both. I need, when I was playing centre half, I needed a midfield player that could play football. He was a guy that could play football. He made things happen from the midfield, and that's the guy I always look for. And it was probably the easy pass So under pressure, you can boot the ball anywhere, rosette it, do what you want. But if you got the ball on the pitch, you win a good tackle, you can always look up and that guy's there, and there he'll get the ball for me. And that was guaranteed. That's the way I played football, because I couldn't do what they could do. I couldn't do all the fancy stuff.
Everybody did their job, mate. And Paul Berg is on about it. He mentions it a lot. And just like you've heard them, I've heard, building a team. And it means getting the blend right. But getting 11 football players, getting the best even 11 football players doesn't necessarily mean you'll have the best team. It's getting that blend right. And if you need pace, you need a ball winner, you need maybe a centre-half that attacks it, the other one needs to be good at reading it, you need a goalie to come and do what he's meant to do and make the odd great save. Yeah, and you make chances, you put the ball in the net. It's no rocket science, and we've been just so far off it, mate. It's just been frightening. And all the criticism that the previous manager got, they hurt him as an individual, but football-wise, he deserved it because it was crazy, Southside. Crazy.
It was torture to watch. I've probably killed him and talked about him, but it was poor, and it was always about going and find a spare man and all that. And listen, you could tell players on the daft when managers come in, they can suss you out. I remember a player telling us when Kachina came in, and after 3-4 days, he went, "No danger." He went, "He's no lasting." He went, "No got a clue." He lasted long enough, longer than he should have. But players get a feeling and they know when they're getting taught. But I think when you've got clear instruction and it's a bit simpler, and I think Danny Rule will come in, and I think he'll put stuff in place. It'll be simple for the players, and it's doing them to do it. Once you start getting results in the play and you see the patterns in the play and what's happening, players buy into it. And if they don't in time, then they ships them out and he gets players in that will. But our problem is that it's a squad thing as well. But like you say, we're talking about the defence, right? And we're saying, well, we're light there and we don't have this, we don't have that, right? I'm saying we've not got 2 ball winning or even 1 ball winning creative midfield player that can go in there and get on the ball and make things happen. We don't have it. You look at the physicality throughout that midfield. Connor Barron, Raskin, Rothwell, Diamandi.
Who was it? Did you?
I've not watched it. I've not seen it.
Yeah, I know you like the blue videos, right? But there was a young lad, and I don't know his name. Red hair. He made Connor Barron look like a giant. Yeah.
Oh, that's that wee boy, Mikel. He's young. He was in a few squads last year, and that. He's quite small, isn't he?
They were doing some exercises. Listen, hopefully he progresses and he does well. But just when you're looking at it, you think, the way the teams that we come up against, and how they play, and the small ones are middleweights, but it's no heavyweights, eh?
Featherweights.
And there's no featherweights in there. The other teams, they're all more. No. It was a big Stevie calls them the farmer's sons.
Aye. But we can see the midfield's light in there, physicality-wise and all that, so. But we just need to get back to doing the basics, right, Ox? And hopefully. And win. It's just about winning games. Football's a simple game.
Back to basics, boys. Back to basics.
Back to basics, eh? Sound like John Major there. Listen, get yourself in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
I'd been in exile for some years, and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And it's football, it was grand, from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the league flag must come nearer, with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal rampant Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, Southside, you're Danny Rowe. You've got to pick the squad tomorrow. You don't know a lot about them. You would think that he's watched some videos and looked at some highlights, maybe watched a few games, maybe looked at the last game particularly. Yeah, spoke to Stephen Smith and get his take on it. He's got to try and set a team, set a stall, and pick an 11 to start the game tomorrow. So Southside's Danny Rowe. Let's start the 11, mate.
Oh, you're a shocker.
It was coming, mate.
I didn't think it was this early, you know. I like it to build up first, know what I mean? But you're obviously just went for the gift.
Are you talking to me or somebody else?
Went for a build up at a time. I might have mentioned, but the team might be, we've talked a bit more, but no. You're flying me in the deep end, you know. So I'm missing the build up. Well, obviously it'll be Butland. I think Tav will probably start. I think Cornelius will probably play left back, I would think, which would be a spot then for Giga and Suter. I've been reliably told that Fernandez is injured at the moment, so he'll not be included. I don't even know if he was in the squad, I can't remember, but he's injured anyway, even for any league games coming for in the next few weeks. I think so. Cornelius would probably say he's going at left back. Midfield. Obviously, I would think I don't know what he'll pick, to be honest. I would think Raskin. I think Diamandi will probably get picked for what he probably wants to do in pressing. Gives you energy. the other midfielder will be Asgard, I think. And up front, I think he might go. I think he'll maybe go with Chimiti. And I think we should play the two wingers. Gasman and Antman. That answer it?
No Miovski. No Miovski.
No.
I thought Miovski was poor at the weekend, mate, if I'm honest, mate. Even when we were playing well, I thought he contributed very little. And when obviously he made some runs and didn't go his way, you know, I get that. That can happen sometimes playing up front, you know, I get it. But I thought he's when he did have a chance to him for a second, he was poor. But listen, I don't disagree with you. I think I would go. I'd start Cornelius at left back now. If Jijiga can come in and get some form. And the problem I've got with what they've done with Jijiga and Suter at the start of this season, one minute Suter's at left back, and the next minute left centre half, then the next minute Jijiga's at. Now, they might have been doing that for the personnel they were playing against. I never looked at it as close as that, but you know, he's had a rocky start to his Rangers loan spell. But I just think the young left back, I think he went in front of your eyes in that second half on Saturday. You know, he passed that ball, he was involved in getting the first goal away. And for that, he seen me crumble. And he's a young boy who's not played a lot of first team football anywhere. So you've got to be fair to him as well. You know, you could crush somebody. You've got to be fair. I'm looking at it. I don't think he's ready, Southside. So I'm with you. I don't know what you think. I think you mentioned it earlier on, Bridge. Cornelius at left back, which brings a bit of physicality to your back four, mate.
Yeah, indeed. But of course, there's limits. We don't know who's fit right at this minute. So we could probably say, well, we'll need to trust our existing defensive setup, mat for man. I don't think there's any red cards or banned for any reason, is there? So you go with the standard, the standard five with the goalkeeper and Tav and Suter and can't remember the boy's name, Cornelius, and the boy Brahma or something like that at the back. You could go with that in a European game, but I was meaning from a going forward perspective. In a month's time, I would imagine we might not be seeing those four at the back, and as soon as possible, we wouldn't be seeing those four at the back because they're the ones. Not to be too bad against them, but they're the ones that are causing goal losses. We need to do something about it. It might not be the time to do it, but me, if I could get Fernandez fit and DJ, whatever his name is, I would play him. I would. You mentioned it yourself. You go Tavernier, DJ, Suter, and what's his name, Cornelius at the left. Yeah, you could go that way. By the way, that sounds a quite powerful team. You know, you could mix and match that. But midfield, what did you have? What do you have? South sides again?
I done Raskin, Diamande, and Asgard. Although I would like to find a place in the team for Bizrami, because I think he works hard and all that, and I think getting a chance in this type of football and what he wants to do. I think Bizrami works the instruction and all that, and I just have not really seen him the best of him. You know, and he's played certain games, but I think, just my opinion, about me just be Diamande, Raskin, and Asgard. I went for Bridgman.
I would go for them as well at the present moment. We're not looking. We're looking for heroes, but not getting killed. You know, we're looking for heroes, people that can get in and hold the ball, and make sure they hold the ball and deal with it, either through brilliant play or good passing. And those three fit that. I don't know. The young Barron, Connor Barron, and the boy came from Dundee. I can't remember his name for the life. Cameron.
Cameron.
Yeah, I'm not dead sure if they're actually ready for the fight, the fray. However, one of them might be carrying injury or just recovering. I don't know. The
Well,
three.
Cameron's recovering. Obviously, Connor Barnes played the last few games, Bridge.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he'd get injured. I do apologise. I thought Barnes had been injured for a wee bit. I took a knock.
You watched him on Saturday.
Yeah, I know, pal, but I thought he'd actually taken a knock then, so I'm not sure. Not sure. However, what was our up front again? So
He's went
so
for
that's we've
Chamiti.
gone four.
He went
We've
for
only got
Gasman,
4-3-3.
and he went for who was it? Right? Who did you go on the right side?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. What you said that?
And
Yeah. So
Ant-Man and Gasman in the right and left. That's where he went for. And the big centre forward up front. Is that right?
yes.
What's his name? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would agree with that. I will agree with that.
I think the Gasman and Ant-Man, one of the things that if I was coaching the team, I'd want them to improve their crossing. And I'd also, if you're playing Chimbitri, mate, I suppose if you're playing any striker that makes runs, they've got to put the ball in early. You can't.
Got to find him.
You cannot. If you're a centre forward, you wait for the ball. If you make it run and they don't put it in, mate, there's nothing worse. And then you've maybe then ran offside because they've chopped back, and then you're caught in no man's land. And when it does go into the box, it looks as if you've not done your job. I've seen a few centres and wingers fall out all the time, because people aren't putting into the box,
I've not been reading my job either because I've just been reliably informed with a question mark. I think Dale's banned, so I've not really thought about it. Just thinking about a team. So if he's banned, then I'll gladly.
Aye, he said after the last game, didn't he?
So he did.
Aye.
Forgot about that. It's been that long ago.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. So he's definitely not playing.
Nothing happened in your life since that happened, is there?
No. But aye. Sorry, I went off topic. Anyway, he's banned tomorrow, so he'll not be playing.
So you take Diamandi out. I take it Rothwell's will always answer. Maybe.
I would like to put Bizrami in there, to be honest. But
interesting if he does it.
Because you know what, they're all getting a fresh start. There's no point in there'll be people shouting me, giving him a place for what's he's done and all that and blah blah blah. And people are entitled to their opinion, but I think he works for under instruction. I think he's a good, skillful player. Whether Demora is an early game to start and just get in the team. Oh, he's not in the squad either. He can't.
No.
He's not in the squad. I just remembered. Not, but I just keep my head there. He's not in it, so that's another one that can't play. Right, I'll just shut up, right?
Oh dear. Yeah. I think we've been joined by David. Evening, David.
Evening, guys.
Hi, David.
How you doing, David?
I was wondering what you are thinking about Danny Rowe, and I'll start that off. I think his next 6 games are probably the most important Rangers season this year. We've got, I think it's 2 European games in the Celtic, the semi-cup, I think it's the League Cup semi-final. So I would say the only one out of there we should be realistically maybe no holding our breath too much for is the Roma game. The other 5 are very winnable, and I think if Danny Rowe does manage to get let's say 5 out of 6, or maybe draw one of them along the way, I think he'll be off to a good start. But I think a lot of the fans have now woken up the same as me that it's basically due to Tellwell and Stewart, the state that we find ourselves in.
Well, it depends who you believe, mate. If you believe our chairman who's put, about 120 million into our club, mate, it's not as simple as that. Southside.
I think we've got to try and just win games. It starts tomorrow night. It's a European game, but basically we need to be beating Kilmarnock at Ibrox and we need to go Easter Road. We've done relatively well there at a piece. So and that's what we're looking for, to get the 2 victories. Okay, if we take a draw at Hibs, it's one of the venues you can go, it's a midweek game, could happen, then fair enough. But then we've got them in a semi-final, and we've really got to make sure that we get to the final. So if we don't, fine, but I would like to think that we could have a right good go at it. Aye, and it's down to him to just... If they play under instruction, mate, and it's a simple game, we've got players there that can hurt teams. We just need to take them off and free them a bit because they've been under instruction. And you see me tell Asgard could do last week. We just bursting for the middle of the park, 10 yards inside their half, and produced a goal of magic. So he's got that in his locker. And we just need to get our wingers firing and get balls across the box and create chances for our strikers and see where it takes us. I'm sure... I think we'll see that. He's talked about breaking the lines and players making sure that they go forward and no stop and cut back as he's watched before. So it's all positive for him, and it's down to the players that get picked in the team at the moment to carry out that. So we've just got to hope that we get after a winning start, mate, and we'll judge the team as they go along. But I'm filled with, I think he'll bring a bit more excitement to the team, and I think he's got a good chance of winning his League Cup.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people were getting the horse in front of the cart when they see Danny Rhodes' name and the stats around him. I mean, I actually looked into him a little bit more. The stuff that he was having to deal with at Sheffield Wednesday seems absolutely chaotic and brings back some bad memories for us Rangers fans. But I'm not one of these people to just get on the back of people straight away just because of the win percentage. But I do honestly hope he has a success. It couldn't be much worse than Russell Martin. I think what I just want to see is something for us to believe again as Rangers fans, because we're sitting, I think it's 8th we're sitting in. We've won 1 league game, 2 league games, and 1 by the skin of our teeth. It needs to get better quite quickly.
Don't disagree with that, mate. I don't disagree with that. It's got to get better, mate. First of all, through winning games, and secondly, through performance, mate. I don't disagree at all. Bridgman.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we've got to show. He's got to get a team on the park that's going to show that we can do what we need to do, and win games. Simple as that to me. Win games, play football, and get your confidence up. Start getting a wee bit of a run. If you can get all these things, and it's a big if sometimes. If you can get that going, then you're building confidence in your club all the way through from top to bottom. If you don't do it, then you're going to fall by the wayside. That's for sure.
I mean, that's what affected my game, Bridge. I wasn't confident enough,
Right. I've never known a wee midfielder that's no confident.
But by the way, it's bizarre, Bridge, Southside, isn't it? And we'll come back to David with this. You win games, you get confident. You play well and don't win. The confidence drains out your team. It's all about winning, ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're playing well and you've been unlucky and all that, then you might think, what, it'll not happen the next game and that, you might take the odd one, but we weren't creating any chances or anything. We've just got to, David, it's just like anything. We've listened to the words, we've heard this all before and all that, and it's never worked out. But I think the guy has got a good idea. I think he's adaptable, which all the support as we hear have come on for a long time saying we need to be adaptable, Well, he is seemingly adaptable in how he'll set out teams to play against teams, and it's down to the players to then go out in the park and show why we brought them here in the first place. Chimity will get a lot of grief and all that for the £8 million we spent, but we need to get him on the park playing, and we need to be creating chances. So whether it's him or Majowski, it's up front, or the two of them at times, we need to find a way where we're creating them chances, and then we can start to judge them in time. So that was what we need to do, and I think if we create chances, I think we've got players that can score goals if we get them in the right positions, and Ant-Man came with a reputation of scoring goals and a lot of assists, so hopefully if we can get him free on the right and doing what we believe he will do. And the gas man, he knows him. At least he knows he's worked with him. He's brought him on. He's made him a better player by all accounts, is what people have said, talking about him. So at least that's a player he knows, and he knows what he can get out of him, and hopefully he'll improve him. And then we've got two good assets, and as long as we start this creating, we'll score. Midfield, I think, still a problem. We'll not get the right balance in that. But the one thing we will install, I think he'll install a work ethic, and I think we'll see it, hopefully. Over the next few games, you can say, well, at least they're doing this. We'll see improvements. David, I think, over the next few weeks, but it'll take a wee bit of time, but I think we'll see improvements straight away.
All right, before we bring our Josh in, not the other Josh, David, right to reply, mate? Right to reply, always.
I think we're just a little bit skinned after watching what we were watching under Russell Martin.
That's
but,
let it go.
I know, but it's just I do think there is a winning team.
Right, David, at least in the bottom right.
I do think there is a winning team in there if they're played the right way and under the right system. It's just what's always stuck in my head is this loan. We've loaned in half the defence, probably more than half the defence, and I don't see how that makes sense for me. But maybe there's some long-term plan there that I'm not seeing. I honestly hope Danny Rowe coming in, he'll have a look at the people, like your Bailey Rices, etc., and your Lyle Camerons. Hopefully these players that have been forgotten will get another chance at the bit. But obviously we've got Brann tomorrow. It's a very important European game for us. It is still mathematically possible to get to the next stage of Europe. It's still possible to win the League Cup and Scottish Cup, but it's very, very unlikely that we could challenge for the domestic league. But what I want for the rest of this season, if I'm being realistic, is to show that Rangers means something again, that we've got the heart back in the club, and that we're going somewhere again.
I think that sentiment, mate, you're not alone with that, mate, because the damage that was done in the connection between the support and the club in a short space of time, I don't think anybody could have predicted it. I could have predicted we get knocked out with Panathinaikos because it was a difficult tie at that stage of the season, but I couldn't predict what was coming next, mate. I really couldn't. I didn't see it coming. Other people did, and fair play to them. Other people did. I already asked Bridge about loans for defence because he might think defence for loans, and that was a different thing back in the day. But we'll bring in Josh. Josh, evening, Josh.
Good evening, boys. He's okay?
Hi, Josh.
Aye, good, mate. Yourself?
I'm not bad. Had a bit of vertigo, so I'm no well a wee bit, but I had to come on, show the support for the Glasgow Rangers. Now, the young boy that just said there, that I disagree with, that just spoke there before me, says that we've no chance in the league. If Celtic and Hearts draw, that's us clawed 2 points, but we're only 8 points behind Celtic. And with the disastrous season that we've had, we'll only be 6 points if we take care of Kilmarnock in at the weekend, and if they draw, Celtic, listen, Celtic on the unbeatable. I've said on here for day one, for the start of the season, this is the worst Celtic team in history. Look at this. Look at the results. Scraped by Kilmarnock with a penalty they should never have got at. Last injury time winner against St Mirren in the open day of the season, and then bagged a gifted a draw at the 2 each before Maeda scored that 96th minute goal. I don't count. I'm more interested in Hearts, and if they're going to stop no Celtic, I think we'll beat Celtic in the semi-final. But I'm glad Danny Rowe's in. Young man, he might not have the calibre, the Gerrards or the Muscats and all that, but he's done his dues through one of the best foundations in the world, German football. You can't get any better than that. He just missed out, and I think in Leipzig, Job, as a manager, but he's been through the best. with the German national squad and the Bayern Munich squad. So it's all good with me. Come on, the Rangers. Let's do this.
Southside.
Aye, listen, we've got to be positive. He's come in and you can see he's got a pedigree. Aye, he's a young manager, but this is where we're at, and this is who we've got. And this is them rectifying the mistake that they've already made. And hopefully the majority or all the support get behind them and get behind the team. There was a wee bit of a good feel-good factor at Ibrox at the weekend in that first half, because the team were playing well. There was a lot of songs getting sung around the stadium, and it was a good wee atmosphere. And then the players decided in the second half, well, although they tweaked their tactics, Dundee United, to try and get themselves back in the game, we didn't react to it. It could have been maybe the manager on the sidelines didn't maybe do things that he could have changed or whatever, because we never had the permanent manager in, or Jim Goodwin got his tactics right, pressed certain players in there's and areas, and then they managed to get 2 goals out of it. But we came back, Josh, and it's a fresh start, mate, and we've just got to give them a chance. I know we're looking for some improvement, mate, and just get on. I'm not interested in what choice he was or anything like that. I'm just wishing them the best of luck, and hopefully we start tomorrow night with a good result and carry on, because that's what it's about, building momentum with the players. I think we've got players in the squad that are technically good, and I think he's a guy that will hopefully bring it out in them. We sign players, and it's down to us as a club, no matter who's the manager, to make them better players. We're not buying finished articles. So it's down to us as a club to progress all our players. And if you look at Finlay Curtis as well, it's down to us to make him a better player. You know, so I'm looking forward to him coming in. I think it's good ideas. Yeah?
So is Ant-Man know the finished article?
What is he, 27?
Oh, he's finished. All right, it was a bad joke.
I know it was a bad joke. I know, but no, yeah, he came with a good assist rate. And if you're playing attacking football and that, and we were getting our 2 wingers free or 1-on-1 with a defender, with the pace they've got and the skill they've got, they should be going past defenders in the league or in Europe. So it's just about him. We just need to get back to basics and start winning games of football. Then we can judge it as we go along. So just let's all try and get behind the manager and the team, you know, when we can. And everybody goes to Ibrox on Sunday against Kilmarnock. Let's hopefully keep a good atmosphere, and hopefully the players will give something to cheer.
Totally agree.
Get the ball in the box. Get the ball in the box. See, make chances. Shoot. I mean, when you seen Asgard's goal at the weekend, Josh, if you don't shoot, you've no score. What a goal it was.
The problem
was a goal as well.
Problem is, Ox, I don't think we've got a striker that is good enough now to put the ball in the back of the net. Shamity's, I know people are heard Southside, and I respect his point, but I don't think he's doing it. I would play Miovski. I would play Miovski tomorrow night. See how he
Based on what, Josh? Based on what, mate?
Well, I think he done okay. I think he done okay at the weekend, didn't he? And he's done more than Shamiti up to now.
Yes, I'll give you that.
He's
a low bar. Bridgeman.
That for me, pal?
Yes, Bridge.
Right, cool, man, cool. I was just wondering what's going on. It's apologies. I think we've got to find a way, shall we say, to find the centre forward. And if it's a big fella, then he must make himself available in the correct space, like all the good centre forwards do. They get themselves available and they can leap. That's what it's about. You're only going to get 10 or 12 chances in a game for a centre forward in general. And if he gets himself in the right position, and the wingers, if they're real wingers and can cross a ball, then they can actually go for that. And what they're looking for is, just for saying sake, corner of the 6-yard box. Just go for that and drop it short, and they'll get in the goal. And you see that boy Harry Kane, he's absolutely superb. he finds a space. He's getting battered by 3 or 4 people running about him, and he still finds a wee space through sometimes. He scores good goals. And that's what we want for our centre forward. He wants to be able to battle for the ball. He's a big fella. If it's the same guy, yeah. He's excuse me. He's way over 6 feet tall, and he can battle for the ball, and that's what we need. I don't care if he causes fouls, but he's got to take care of himself, and that's what it's all about. And bundle the guys off the ball and all the rest of it, because you're not going to get a foul. They're not going to get a foul every time. You're going to get through, and you've got to be able to do it. I think we've seen him getting through a couple of times, and he couldn't finish. So that's got to be smartened up a wee bit, and it's up to the manager to get him fit enough and be confident enough to put him on the park.
Listen, Josh, I don't think Miovski done all right on Saturday at all. I thought he was poor, but I accept your point. At the moment in time, he's done more than symmetry. He scored a couple of goals. It's going to be interesting as you pan out. Danilo, up to now, has disappeared. Maybe I would have maybe brought him in, Jimmy through on Saturday. And I definitely took Rothwell off after another and brought Connor Barron on just because I thought his legs had gone. It's wise to be smart in hindsight, Southside.
Aye, I didn't think Miovski. He scored 2 goals. For me, he should be the striker that I thought. Right, I said would probably start more games than Chimiti because he knows the league, but we never really created for him, in all honesty, in all the games he's played. But his hold-up play has been poor. He's been getting shoved off the ball. There's times he's not been switched on when the ball's getting played up and the defenders nicked him and took the ball off him before he's even thought about going and getting it. Put a decent ball in the box like Cornelius does at Falkirk, and he scores. That's the type of goal that he'll get, but we weren't creating. Might work out that he might play the 2 of them up front at times, or one off one. We don't know how he'll play. But Chimiti, it's hard to even judge him. I mean, we've only seen him a few times. He's been flung on as sub a couple of times. He is a big boy. I think he's got no bad control on the ball. I think he just needs time to settle in a team that know what they're going to be doing when they go forward, and he knows what runs to make, same as Miovski knows what runs to make when we're attacking, because it will change under this new manager, and that might make the difference. And then you maybe not think that he's useless or he's not good enough, but Thelwell stuck his neck out with Purdy by the sounds of it to bring him in. They think he will be in time. He did say it at the presser. He believes he will do well in time. We'll see, but I wouldn't write him off. Because I dare say he will have to be. We need to try and get him on the goal scoring. If we get a penalty, I wouldn't even let Tav take it. If he's on the park, I'd let him take it, because he needs to get on the goal scoring trail, no. And if that's what you have to do to get him off the mark, then that's what you do.
Listen, do you think it's his price tag that's the issue, or his performances that's been the issue? Listen, can't judge him on Saturday, a cameo. You've got to be fair, right? I mean, away in Graz, on another occasion, he could have scored minimum 2 goals. He got in positions. I'm only thinking maybe should have scored the header that he hit the bar with, but he had a couple of efforts as well that he maybe could have done better with another night. You're judging you score goals. Is the problem his performances or the price tag, Southside, before we bring in Billy?
Well, it's going to be the price tag, because everybody says he was there for 2 years and didn't score a goal. So why are you paying £8 million? That's what the issue is.
It's hard to argue against that.
But he never played every week either. I mean, he was a young boy coming in for Sporting. And whether Dyche liked him or not at the time was immaterial, but he didn't, when he got chances right, he didn't hit the back of the net. But he is a young boy playing in the Premiership with a decent reputation, because I think they paid, £15 million or something, I believe, to run about that for him. But he's here, and it's down to us to make him a better player. It's down to us as a club. We've paid the money, so let's get the best out of him. Hopefully he'll start scoring goals regular, and hopefully he'll be a success. But everybody just says he's a donkey at the moment, because that's what they say. But give them time and let this team settle down now, and hopefully in the next wee while, if we can get back to scoring goals, hopefully him and Majowski will be banging them in for fun, and then we can talk a different story after that.
I love your glass. It's always half full, isn't it?
It does get empty sometimes, but...
Anyway, we'll be joined by Billy. Evening, Billy.
Evening, lads. Evening,
Hi, Billy.
Southside. All right, how's it going?
Hey, Billy.
Man? Oh, all right, mate. I was listening to a few different chats there, and you were talking about this guy sets up his stall, he changes it within the 90 minutes, etc. Right? And I think that team, Bran, I think they play a 4-3-3 constantly, right? And that's the way, obviously, they'll set up, and obviously he'll know that's the way they set up. So there's 2 or 3 formations to get round that system. Now, we're tried and tested. We've played a 4-2-3-1 system for long enough, so the players will understand how to play that. But call me old-fashioned, boys, but I think now this is a time to play a 4-4-2 against that
tried and trusted.
Yes.
Billy, yeah.
Yep, absolutely, mate. And I'll tell you my reason for it, right? Schoolboy laddies learnt to play that system when we were wee boys. We all learnt to play that system, right? So that should be bread and butter now for a professional, right? But the pros of that set up is, right, it gives you, it's a numbers game. It gives you what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Superior
numbers in midfield or bare
Yes.
flexibility?
Both hawks. And especially in wide areas, mate, right? Now, we've got the players, I think, that can play that system in wide areas.
Who would you play wide, Billy?
And that, mate, right now, this may be shocky, Hawks, right? But I know for a fact Southside will back me up on this one. I would play Bajrami down the right and I'd play Gassama out on the left.
The morning night?
Yes, that's what I would do, mate. And I would play that four.
We don't think he's in the European squad, mate.
He's not, Bajrami's not in it. No.
As you know, well, that's that one. Sorry, guys. Well, that's that argument up there. But that's just an example then of what I would play in that 4-4-2. And see also as well, we keep playing one up top. It's here Majowski or the big boy we played a lot of money for, right? Is it no time now to maybe here go with the 2 guys up top together? And for that, I mean, they maybe create an understanding with one another, and it maybe take pressure off of Majowski, and it maybe take the pressure off of the big fella for Everton to give the 2 guys a run out together just to see if something can click there. You know what I mean? So that's maybe the way I would go tomorrow night. I would play a 4-4-2, guys. I just wondered what your thoughts were. Superiority was the word I was looking for, Ox.
Listen, if you start Majowski or Chimitri up front tomorrow night, you're going to be in a game. They've got some decent form at home. Their record in European ties are pretty outstanding. Obviously, they beat Utrecht 1-0 in their own turn. They lost 2-1 to Lille. Yeah. Which, on their bad side. But they've got a decent record at home. They've won 5 of their last 7 European ties. But their top scorer's not playing tomorrow night. Magnussen, surprise, Serbian Magnussen. So that might be a boost for us. But traditionally, Billy, you would see you go away and you keep it tight and you maybe come into the game. And there would have been times in the past where you might not even started that man and gas man, and you bring them on with half an hour to go and try and use their pace as the game opens up. But you want to keep it tight. I don't even know if we've got the personnel to do that just now. To play two guys tight, make sure they work, have the other 2 beside them. And if you've got 2 up front, one would be coming in to make it a 5 to make you really compact and make sure you stay in the game. Something like maybe Walter would do, Bridgeman. And then as the game progresses, you hopefully get chances, change your personnel, and you go and try and win the game. Stevie G thrown that out the window, played 4-3-3 and just constantly played his game and got some fantastic results. So after you come in, Bridge, Southside can come in, because I don't know who's right and who's wrong. Billy, I've no problem with the 4-4-2, mate. You know, Bridge, in you come, and then Southside.
Yeah, I think Billy's no far away from it there. Because we're away from home, we might display a 4-4-2. How he gets the four midfielders in, I don't know. And but I think somebody mentioned Bajrami. You could play him in the midfield as well.
He's not in the squad, Bridge. He's not in the
squad. Is he not in the squad? Right, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realise that. So whoever's in the squad then, you can bring an extra man in and drop the centre forward and play with just with two wingers. And hopefully the extra man up front that you're looking for to put the ball in the net, it's got to be done by somebody else from the midfield. That's the only way you can do it. I don't understand how we could play anyone else other than Ant-Man and Gazman up front. That's my thoughts. So no matter what we're going to play, they too will have to be there, and they're quite good players, and they'll relish the sort of European atmosphere, and they've played in these, not those games, but they've played in the European game before. So I think we'd be okay with them. And 4-4-2 if you're any good at it, it's quite a good system to play, and to go for that. I'd be quite happy with that. Quite happy.
Southside.
It's a system we've watched many times Rangers play, Billy. I just think the more I probably know, the more I first experiment. I think he'll probably go a 4-2-3-1, I think. But I think there will be time for change, Billy. And I think there's no reason why you're playing at Ibrox, and especially some of the league games, there's no reason why we can't go 4-4-2 and have the two of them playing at the one time. And they have been on the park together already. So we'll see going forward. We just need to get chances created for them and let them get scoring. Majowski's got a couple for the goals that he scored. Typical the goal he would score if he put the ball that way into the box. And Chimiti, we're all talking about him because we've paid £8 million for him, but we need to give him a chance. He is a young boy, and we just need to get, like you say, great chances, and let's see if he puts them away. That's what we're looking for, Billy, and they'll grow in confidence. That's it, and it's just win games.
If you've got 5 minutes left of the show tomorrow, mate, go and watch the chairman when he talks about in Fairwell. There's logic in why they're saying Chimiti. You know, they talk about the price of setting up forwards, buying potential, trying to ship people on. But where it'll work out, it's a whole different debate. They give you a rationale, mate. They give you a thinking. And by the way, I don't hear any other team getting quizzed Southside about how they've signed players and what they've done. I know it's not work for us, but there's other clubs not having the best of seasons, and they're not getting interrogated like us. We have to start handling these press better, because it's out of order. Southside, and then we'll go back to Billy, then Josh.
You got to handle the press a lot better. I said to Albert about it, I says, wait to see how long it asks for me to say to Danny Rule. I says, wait to see, but when we're going to ask Danny Rule, how does it feel to be second, third or fourth choice or something like that? He went, nah, they can't do that, there's no danger. Oh aye, that question get asked, alright. There's somebody else I think should have just jumped in there and said something, whether it was Stelwell or whether it was even Kavanagh. Any one of the three should have jumped in and said, whoa, we're not having this nonsense, know what I mean? It's the BBC. But listen, I think he's conducted himself pretty well so far with some of the questions he's been asked. And the talking is on the park. And at the moment, that comes down to all the players. I believe we'll be pretty well organised in what they've tried to work on structurally, and it's down to the players to carry out the instruction. And if they do that, then we could come back with a good result tomorrow night. But they've won 5 of their last 7 in European competitions at home, so they'll fancy their chances. But it's down to us to get out there and start playing for the manager, playing for themselves, and playing for us as a support.
Billy, then, and then we'll bring back Josh. Just before you maybe comment on that, Billy, What's your take on the manager?
I'll keep the thoughts to myself for now, because I'll end up losing the head, and I don't want to lose the head. So what's done's done, mate. There's nothing we can do about it. He's there, and that's it. So I'll keep that answer short and sweet, mate. And it's not like me. But what I will say regarding the 4-4-2, then I know I maybe made a mistake here regarding Bajrami, but you could play Ant-Man out there and all right, because you see when you look at Ant-Man, right, and you look at Gassama, they love to get by players. So I think that 4-4-2 would suit them down to a T. They could get to that byline and get the ball across into the box. And if you've got two strikers here busting their arse to get into that box, that system maybe suits us perfectly tomorrow night. I don't know how he's got to set it up, obviously, but that's just the way I would go. I mean, the only other way we could maybe go would be, and listen, I don't think that'll happen anyway, would be a 3-4-3, but we can't do that because we've not got a centre back to boss that back line there, so that wouldn't happen. Even though you can, if we did play that system, you've got the wing backs type thing could double up and the opponent's full backs type things, but that'll not happen because we've not got to be perfectly honest with you, we've not got the two centre halves now, I don't think, to play any formation, never mind a 3-4-3, mate, you know.
Well, I don't think we've got the personnel to play the 4-4-2 away in Europe, and I'll tell you why. Gasman and Ant-Man, you're right, they're attacking players, mate. Any of the two of them are particularly switched on defensively. Ant-Man will maybe chase, Gassam sometimes doesn't he, mate? They're attacking players, they want to go forward. And if they played in that role, if they didn't do their defensive chores, the two in midfield could get pulled all over the place.
Oh, get that tail.
I think that, they'd be all right when we had the ball going forward. It's when you've not got the ball. And I don't think the managers maybe the time to reinvent the wheel, if that makes sense. Josh, in you come.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Ox. You don't want to be another Bruges and get annihilated and go gung-ho and get another embarrassment, and then that's an embarrassment for the manager in the first game. Keep it tight and take the chances where we can, and either one of the two lads up front, I'm sure they'll do a job. I was just saying that, try to say that Miovski was the better of the two players, but I think thinking about Shamiti.
Is a limbo competition that one at the moment, eh?
No, but thinking about the signing of Shamiti, I think it's long term because, as what Southside said, he's a young boy and he's came here, and I think he's going to be potentially a good striker, and we just need to give him time. But as long as we don't go gung ho and we're a wee bit conservative, it's like the manager's first game and see how it goes. I would take a point and bring it back, and that's a positive going on to Kilmarnock, because these 4 games are big, because we need to start picking up points again in the Premier League as well, in the league, get on that table, and then the Celtic game will take care of itself. But that's what I think. But I would play Diamondi, Ant-Man, and Raskin in midfield.
Suspended, mate.
Is it?
Diamondi suspended.
I put
after last game ago.
I put Barron in. I put Barron in with. I put Barron in with Raskin and Ant-Man then.
See if I was playing, Billy, just come back to your point about the if you played Ant-Man and Gasman wide, I think you'd have to play 3 in the middle. Yeah. I think you'd have to play 3 and then have them coming in, and then you'd want to go forward, and you would have to be disciplined, and then up to the partner 5. Then you've not got the grunt to cover the midfield to try and utilise their pace. And that would be a 4-5-1 where you get accused of being negative, but that's what happens if you played a 4-4-3 and your wide men get pushed back. It becomes a 4-5-1. I think, but I don't know. It's hard to judge because obviously it's a previous regime. If they two have got that discipline to play these shapes, it might come. Under Danny, it might come.
Yeah, take that, I know I can see where you're going, just sort of drop in and you're more compact and it shuts the space out. I see where you're coming from there in a 4-5-1, like, you know, and then when you've not got the ball, you just sit in, so you've got basically a 4 and a 5 sitting right in front of their hangman. You're nice and compact, you know, and then if you can get the ball to your striker, you can hopefully he holds it up, and then that's when your two wingers that's playing and it's dropped back into that 5 can go and support them and bomb on, you know what I mean, and then you can get late runners coming in for the box type thing, you know what I mean, for your midfield. You know, there's options there. I know. The only other thing I could think on as well, I don't know if it's got, because it's really got to be interesting how he sets his stall up tomorrow night. Do you think he'll maybe try and match him up in a 4-3-3?
I do, actually, Billy. I actually think he will. That's what I think he'll do. I don't think he'll change a lot. Southside, then and then Bridge.
We can go as a 4-3-3, no problem. Like, you're going to play the 2 wingers and 1 striker, and you just pick your 3 midfielders. Because, like, we keep going, one's a 6, then the other 2 are 8s. No, it's left midfield, right midfield, centre midfielder. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as they just go, and we could match up, Billy, there isn't any reason why we can't. But it'll be what he's seen in training and what he's looked at and what his vision is, probably how he wants them, just to make sure that players are about to receive and pass the ball. And let's get the ball up the park. So it'll be interesting to see if we play a lot of long balls or whether we'll probably pass the ball a bit, but we'll see. He might mix it up. We've got players with pace on the wing, so why not? Why not hit the space in behind and let Ant-Man or Gasman, if the 2 of them are playing, let them go and run into that space. You know the pace the 2 of them have got. So that could be a way that we could hurt them. We just need to we need to play this one-touch football or try and pass it too much. Sometimes we might need to launch the ball forward, and that might be the thing. You hit them in the back behind the space, because we've got 2 wingers if they play, or even Finlay Curtis comes in. If he played, he's got pace and all. They'll get up the park and they'll go on the ball. So that might be a tactic that we might use against them. I don't know, but as long as we go out and put a right good performance on, Billy, the players give us as support something to look forward to, what we're going to expect, and hopefully we can get a good win. But they just beat them. Lille beat them 2-1, and I think they beat Utrecht 1-0. But like I said, they've won 5 out of the last 7 at home in European competition, so they'll be a decent team. And at the moment we're in a wee bit of transition, but we've got players in the team that I think can hurt them, and it's down to us. Hopefully the players will go out and perform for the manager and work to his tactics, mate, and it'll be good enough. But it'll be a hard game.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, I agree with Chris Southside there. I also think that the thought of, I think he's lined up for a 4-4-3. I think it'll happen, 4-3-3, sorry. I think it'll happen. I can't see it any other way. However, I've been surprised before with the manager, so that can't be cut and dried. But we have to do an enormous job tomorrow. We have to be, the first thing we've got to do, we've got to be very careful. Midfield from the back, midfield to defence, very careful indeed, because we have been very poor record in there. And if we can get that smartened up, that maybe plug some holes and ease the pressure. And of course, we need to watch out, because we've still got the same people playing football who have, let's say, been disappointed and haven't won games. So we need to be back on top form as far as that's concerned, or a better form to lift it. And we have to do what we've done before at Europe. We're going to have to go over there and defend, because that's probably what's going to happen, where we can't afford to go up front, go high too much. I love Diamondi playing. I think he carries the ball very well going forward in Europe, and he can get you 40, 50 yards easily when he picks the ball up in his own half. That's the type of run we're needing. Raskin, the very same. He can pick the ball up and run. And that other big fella that scored the first goal there a week, the last game there, he can do that. Lovely runner. So all these things, we've got people that can do these things when they get the ball, and they have to then use whatever pace they've got, get into their defence area, and when you get in there, things that happen very easily, very quickly. it can happen. But if we don't get there, then we're going to be defending for 90 minutes. I wish Rangers all the best, of course, and really, really want them to win. And I'd be absolutely delighted if they got whether people are calling it as a abridgment. I'll go for a 1-0. If we can get a 1-0 over there, that'll be fantastic for us. Fantastic.
What's frustrated me when I seen the draw, mate, and we've watched the game, we should have been going for 9 points out of 9 tomorrow night and have ourselves in a position where we're nearly through. Because the draw's been favourable, and I'll argue that the 2 games we lost, the Diamandi sending off didn't help us. Yep. And obviously away from home and Sturm Graz, they were there for the taking, let's be honest. You know, they were not a great side, and I think they might get beat tomorrow night, unfortunately. Hope they don't. You know, because I've always liked Austrian teams, you know, playing against certain teams. But that's the frustrations, Billy. We should be going for 9 points. There's no reason how we can't win the game, but we're not confident at the moment, so you've got to be realistic, yeah?
Aye. No, you're right enough. But our morals, our moral is at an all-time low, isn't it? That's what it is. But listen, we've created that ourselves, you know. And the reason we're sitting with 8 points is because, in my opinion, our concentration levels in for the full 90 minutes has been terrible at times. We've not been switched on. We've been lazy. We've been, you know, we're giving away schoolboy errors. We're getting players sent off or letting boys run off us. All the basic stuffs that you would think a professional football player would hear in his locker as a gimme. They're not doing it, you know. So when you throw all the things into the equation and you're not doing the things that you're meant to do, then that's when it creates problems. When you start getting players sent off, guys, you notice yourself, especially, it doesn't, see, you've maybe a chance domestically, but see when you go, when the bar's raised up into Europe, you're playing a different level of football you're playing. You know, and when it's hard enough in Europe with 11 men, never mind getting a player sent off, etc., or gifting them goals at a start, or, you know what I mean, no going with runners, etc., becoming lazy, etc. Yeah, that's right. So that to me, Ox, that's got to change. And as I said, that's what's killed us in Europe, and it's crept into our domestic game as well. So tomorrow night, our concentration first and foremost has to be bang on the money for 90 plus minutes. We've got to be switched on for 90 plus minutes and cut out schoolboy errors. If you get beat with a worldie or you get beat with a brilliant football move, then you put up your hands and you'll applaud it and you'll say, well, you know what a strike that was, fair play to that boy, or what a brilliant bit of football, because that's what we want to see. But for the things that I was talking previously, there are no excuses for that. You know, you get away with it. You know, doing the partner Sunday, Ox, you see that stuff. But you're not wanting that coming for a professional football player. You know?
Some of the goals we've lost, Billy, you wouldn't see doing the partner Sunday. That's how it's frustrating. Listen, we've reached that time of the evening. Last word for your good self. Josh?
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been good chatting and everybody's different opinions. Just the support that's away over to support the Glasgow Rangers. Keep safe. Hope the lads and the new manager do well and we get something tomorrow. Good performance, and take care, everybody. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate. Billy?
Aye, cheers, Ox. Just remember, lads, and I hope these players realise it, it's not about the name in the back of the jersey. It's about the badge in the front, eh?
Well, it's all about results, Billy, and that breeds confidence, and then that badge gets bigger, mate. Eh?
That's right. Get the chuffs puffed out, Rangers, and go and do it. They're representing Glasgow Rangers troops.
Southside. Oh. Last call for Southside.
Aye, sorry, I was doing a bridge man there. No, thanks for having us on. And it's always good to be on with the legend, the bridge man, and good to hear Billy and Josh and David and everybody else that's phoned in tonight, because that's what the show's about. Hopefully it's time to unite, mate. It's time to unite as a support. Whether we're happy or no, and we wanted certain managers, and he's the guy that's in charge. He's the guy we need to give the support to, and it's down to the players to react to it. And in time, hopefully he'll be the guy that will bring success back to Rangers Football Club. So that's what we're looking for, and hope we'll start with a big step tomorrow. If we get a point, I'll be happy. If we get a free, I'll be really delighted. But it's all about putting in a performance for the manager, the club and the support tomorrow night, and see if it's good enough, and then take it on from there. So as always, mate, thanks for having us on, and good luck to the Glasgow Rangers tomorrow night.
Yeah, by the way, if we win and we don't play well, I'll be delighted also.
I'll take that 1,000,000%. And all. It doesn't matter. It's getting the results, innit? The results, I think it matters. Performance, you can always improve on.
Aye, exactly, mate. If we'd have just beat the D United and Falkirk, what would we sit? It's mental, mate. Absolutely mental and so frustrating. I think that's what's getting to everybody. You know, cheers, brah. Last word for the legend. That's you, Bridgeman. Oh, is he dropped it? Must be past his bedtime. Well, Southside, you can have a final word.
The final word, I've not in his speech. I'm not having any of that.
All right, I'll just say this to you. To all the Rangers supporters, all remember, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us, yeah?
Perfect.
Right, okay. Listen, thanks to Billy, David, and of course Josh for joining us. Thanks to Bridgeman and Southside for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back 15 minutes after the final whistle. And here's one for you. Celebrating a Rangers victory. Take it away, Old School Blue.